wasn't that splendid. Well, there we are. As you can imagine, I'm very pleased with how this thing's going. So let's have a little look around the motor. Last time you saw it, I was just finishing off that back case, and it all went together very well. Ignore the oil pressure gauge. I didn't have a line, and I suddenly realised yesterday that the MPT fitting for the gauge was the same as the MPT fitting out of the oil gallery for the gauge line, so I merely screwed the gauge straight in there, which is actually very useful for doing things like adjusting the oil pressure relief valve. Everything else went together very well. I did actually run it yesterday, I'll admit. That wasn't the first start, nor did I say it was. I ran it yesterday for about 15 minutes. I had one very minor issue, which was a bit of oil coming out of the breather, and that was because the baffle wasn't quite in the right place. That's now fixed. It went together like clockwork. You might notice the cylinders have changed. I did start making a video, and it proved to be about the world's most boring video ever. So I'll tell you about it. Because I want to make this engine look a bit more American, because of course it's meant to be an Aeronca E113, not a JAP 99, I decided to Americanise a couple of cylinders, if you like. These were JAP covers. They actually do say JAP very faintly, and they're now filled in with JB weld. And the American engines generally had pressed covers, which were nice and rounded looking, and these nice big screw caps. So I merely made new screw caps, made new studs. One of the heads actually had a broken part inside where the stud screws, which is one of the reasons I'd never used it, even though it was on in my stores pile for about 25 years. But that was all fixed, and underneath they've just got a spare spark plug in the hole, because they are dual ignition cylinder heads. I wanted to use them because they were good. There's no point using rubbishy single ignition heads, which I do have a pair of. They've got cracks, they need a lot of welding doing, it means spending a lot of money for very little gain. Here's the carburetor and airbox assembly. I used an AMAL carburetor, one because I have several spare, secondly they're a lot lighter than the American Stromberg. It's all aluminium or some kind of pot metal, and it really is about 2 pounds lighter. I also had the airbox. This is a brand new old stock JAP airbox, and in fact the exhaust, this lovely Y exhaust, came with the JAP that's now on my Aeronca C3, which I bought. It was sort of brand new old stock, you know, engine and everything, and it's incredibly light. It's very, very thin steel. I had it sandblasted some years ago. In fact, slightly irritated, the paint's bubbling on it. It's only been drying for 4 years, but there we are. I was very pleased. I found a sump plate. I just angled the camera up. This sump plate here is an American one. I didn't want a sump plate with the oil temperature sender hole in it, like the C3 ones, correction, the JAP British ones have. And I realised that when I was digging through a box of bits that this early American one didn't. It might even be off E107. So I put that on. I've also used a few other American bits. There's an American thrust plate behind the propeller now. And the oil pump is American as well. Let's go around and look at that. So there's the oil pump. And again, I was going through a box of goodies. The oil pump that was on it, I was messing around with, and it just felt a tiny bit notchy, and I've got lots and lots of them. And I picked several of them have been cleaned out in the past, but I couldn't quite remember if this one had or hadn't. So I had a quick look at it again, and it was very good. And I had had it apart in the past because I'd cut the old locking wire on it. So I quickly whipped it apart again, just made sure it was fine, and it looked brand new, to be honest, and put it together and bolted it on. So it's meant to be an American engine. It's got a few American parts at least, and of course it's got that lovely magneto. Little bit of oil running down here. That's from yesterday, I think, in the breather. I'm going to do a few other odd jobs on the engine, but that's sort of it for now. It's run, I'm happy with it. It started pretty easily. I need to learn throttle positions and things. I don't have a proper advanced retard lever yet. That's all going to come very shortly when I sort of carry on titivating the airplane as a whole. but I'm really very pleased with it. I'm also pleasantly surprised how smooth running it is. I did think with single ignition that it might be a bit rough compared to a dual ignition engine, but actually it seems very smooth. This propeller's a good one. It's a Lang LA.10. Again, it was fitted to my Aeronca C3 years ago, and in fact if you watch the film Flying for Fun, the 1986 TV film, when Jeffrey Beavers as Major Parham gets into the Austin 12 motor car near the end after FT's engine has blown up and he appears out of the field carrying a propeller, that is the propeller. It was the spare for FT, but I didn't get it till a few years ago. The old owner was having a bit of a clear out and he was going through his loft and remembered, amongst going all through this stuff, that there were some Aeronca bits somewhere up there. So he dug out a propeller and an enormous box full of goodies. Really nice stuff, and promptly gave me a call and said come round and collect them, which I did. So that prop's been restored and balanced, and I think being balanced, it was done by the magnificent Colin Essex up in Coventry, who makes propellers and is a bit of a propeller genius. It's lovely, it's really smooth. I'm very, very pleased with it. It was pulling about 2300 RPM as well, so it's got plenty of beans. It's certainly going to make an Aeronca C2 go very well. It is a climb propeller, so as the C2 isn't really as fast as the C3 for various technical reasons, I think having that nice fine climb prop is going to mean it's a really good airstrip aeroplane. I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. There's the airframe, complete with Silly Dog in the background. It's a C2. It is made of lots of original bits. It purports to be Jack Parham's aeroplane and is registered as such. I'm doing it in a very light-hearted fashion as a kind of homage to the great man, made out of all manner of bits that I've culled from here and there. The airframe is pretty much done, apart from a little bit of seat support. I am building it as a single seat deregulated microlight, so I've had to take a few liberties on removing excess weight here and there. Not that the C2 is particularly heavy in any way, but I've really got to make sure I come under the category and don't go over the 300 kilos all up weight. The wings are still to be made, although I made all the ribs years ago, and a lot of the metalwork is done. I've got an awful lot of parts in storage. It's got a complete tail and fin and rudder and all the bracing wires for the tail and everything. They're all tucked away. One of these days I'll put all the tail on and we'll run a camera around it and have a look. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe because there will be updates now and then. And see you again another day.